Bonjour et bienvenue à French with Monique. Hello, welcome to French with Monique. Aujourd'hui, nous allons apprendre la conjugation. Today, we are going to learn conjugation. Yes, let me give you a hint. So, conjugation is basically 90% of French. Let's just say that way because as far as you're speaking a language, you're expected to use verbs most of the time when talking. So conjugation is basically French. If you don't know conjugation, I tell you, you wouldn't be successful at speaking the French language. And conjugation is something that most people think that it is difficult, but I tell you that it is very simple, especially with Madame Monique here. I'll make it very simple for you how you're going to learn conjugation and how it's going to be for you. What is conjugation? What is conjugation? So conjugation, I wouldn't want to go by the dictionary meaning, but I want to make it very simple for you to understand. So conjugation is simply deriving or forming verbs from the principal verb. Let's just put it that way. Conjugation is simply forming or deriving verbs from the principal verb. You could also say conjugation is simply breaking down a particular verb into other forms, and these other forms are of course derived from these verbs. That is why the first explanation is what I'll go for: deriving verbs from the principal verbs. You know that even in English you can't just use a verb the way it is. Maybe sing, you can't say, oh, I sing, he sing, or we say we are sing. There are forms in which these verbs are used. So today we'll be concentrating on the simple present tense, le présent de l'indicatif. Le présent de l'indicatif, the simple present tense form of the verb. Just like in English, say, oh, I sing, he sings, you sing, they sing, right? So if you heard, the verbs are not the same way. You're hearing sings and sing. So in English, it's quite easier because the verbs that are derived from the principal verbs are just taking basically maybe 3 forms in the present tense. But in French, it is not that way. It's something you need to study meticulously. It's something you need to take your time to learn. Trust me, it is not difficult. It's just you taking your time. Remember our adage, petit à petit, l'oiseau fait son nid. Little by little, the bird makes its nest. So we're going to start off with our conjugation. In our last class, we treated le pronom personnel, and I told you that le pronom personnel is very important even in conjugation. That was why it was necessary we had that topic first before conjugation, so it wouldn't be complicated when we get to this level. So for conjugation, you must know your personal pronouns. Remember also in the last class, I told you that I'm going to make it simple by giving you 9 personal pronouns. But when it comes to conjugation, we are going to group some of the pronouns, and these personal pronouns will now become 6. Basically, standard French is 6 personal pronouns because there are 6 conjugation. This is because you get to know the reason when we go ahead. If you have your conjugation book, you would agree with me that there are a lot of verbs. But remember in one of the classes I told you about 2 very important verbs. They are important because they are verbs in themselves and they are also helping verbs. They help other verbs. Those are the verbs we are going to start with. It's not like that the most important. No, we also have other helping verbs, but these verbs are basically used in our day-to-day French. You could hardly speak French in a day without using these verbs rather. So these 2 verbs are être and avoir. Être and avoir. Être and avoir. And remember, être means to be, while avoir means to have. So in case you're wondering what verb is to be, when you say, oh, I am, you are, she is, they are, that is the verb to be. So we are going to be conjugating the verb être in French and the verb avoir in French. Those are the 2 verbs we'll be taking today. As we continue our class, we're going to see how to conjugate other verbs. Now, there is a general rule to conjugation for verbs depending on the group of verbs. We have about 3 groups of verbs, but we're not going into those groups today. We're just going to be conjugating the verb être and avoir, because like I told you, you hardly speak French on a daily basis without using these verbs. So I'll start with the verb être. Répétez après moi, être, the verb to be. So just like in English, we have I am, you are, he is, she is, we are, you are, and they are. Remember, this is where our personal pronouns come in. So the first one is je suis. Répétez, je suis. Je suis means I am. I am. The next is tu es. Tu es. Tu es means you are. You are. The next one is il est. Il est. Il est means he is. He is. The next will be elle est. Elle est. Elle est means she is. So in conjugation, you don't need to separate il and elle, unless of course you want to really make it very simple for maybe kids. You could separate that. I do that when I'm teaching kids, I separate it. But normally standard French, il and elle are together. So you have il ou elle est, because both of them are using the same verb. This is also the same for on. Remember when I told you about on in personal pronouns for its indefinite, when you don't want to mention the person's name? Il, elle, on. They use the same verb. So the 3 of them can be in the same category. So if we have je suis, I am, tu es, you are, il ou elle ou on est. So il, elle, on est, because they have one verb. Their verbs are the same, so there's no need to say il est, elle est, on est. It's going to like make it very lengthy. But so these 3 are using one verb, so you could actually use the 3 of them for that. In fact, in standard French, that is how it is written. The next one will be nous. Nous sommes. Nous sommes. Nous sommes means we are. We are. The next will be vous êtes. Vous êtes. Vous êtes means you are. You can hear the Z sound. Remember in one of the classes I told you that the last letters are very important, especially when they are followed by a word that begins with a vowel. Vous ends with S and et begins with an E. So when you're putting them together, it's called a liaison. So you link them. Instead of saying vous êtes, so it's vous êtes. So once the S is linked with the E, it becomes a Z. So vous êtes means you are. And remember that this you are is used for someone you should be formal with, unlike tu es, which is used for someone you can be familiar with. The next one is ils sont and elles sont, just like when we had il, elle, un. Remember in personal pronouns I told you that il, there's il for he, there's also il for they, masculine, which is like the plural of il. So this il and elle, they have the same verb, which is sont. So both of them are used together with sont. So there is no need to split them again, like they are singular, right? So il sont, elle sont becomes il ou elle sont. Il ou elle sont. On va reprendre. We're going to take it all over. Je suis means I am. Tu es means you are. Il est, elle est, on est. One. Il, elle, on est. So he is, she is, someone is, right? Then nous sommes. Nous sommes means we are. Vous êtes means you are. And then ils sont, elles sont, which is il ou elles sont, meaning they are, for both masculine and feminine nouns. Let me just give you a simple sentence. If I want to say I am sick, I am sick. Remember, I am is je suis. Sick is malade. malade. So if you want to say I am sick, you just simply say je suis malade. Je suis malade. If you want to say you are sick, since you are is tu es, so you simply say tu es malade. Tu es malade. Attention, be careful. Sometimes the way you use tu es malade, it may come up as an insult or declarative statement or a question. So if I say tu es malade, just like as I'm saying now, it means you are sick. But if I change my tone, tu es malade, that means something is wrong with you upstairs. But if I want to ask a question, tu es malade, are you sick? So you see, the tone is very important. So you need to be very careful when using that statement on someone, depending on the message you want to pass to the person. So tu es malade means you are sick. Il est malade means he is sick. Elle est malade means she is sick. On est malade, someone is sick. So il, elle, on est malade means he is sick, she is sick, or someone is sick. Nous sommes malades. Nous sommes malades means we are sick. Double S gives you the sound. So nous sommes malades is we are sick. Vous êtes malade. Vous êtes malade. You are sick. For someone you should be formal with. Last category is ils sont malades or elles sont malades, meaning they are sick for masculine nouns and they are sick for feminine nouns. In order for this video not to be too lengthy and for you to preserve the understanding of this particular class, I will be talking about la conjugaison du verbe avoir in the next class. That is conjugation of the verb to have in the next class. À bientôt!